Hey, welcome back to the Convo Couch, ladies and gentlemen. I am Pasta Jardula.
And I'm Fiorella.
And we have a great show for you today.
We do. We have an update.
Yes, we do. Because in the middle of the Tulsi event last night, fam was like, Pasta, waving me over. And guess what happened, fam? Break it down for them.
So we were at an event for Tulsi last night in Santa Monica where she was talking to people from the Malibu Democratic Party. She also had one on Sunday, the previous day. And while we were there, we got word that the embassy, the Venezuelan embassy in D.C., was being invaded by U.S. police and the Secret Service that was there, illegally violating the Vienna Convention, specifically the code, which says that they cannot do that because it's part of the Venezuelan property of Maduro. It's an extension of them, and so they were breaking the law, and they were there was kind of a standoffish thing going on because there was the anti-war, anti-imperialism protesters and the Guaido supporters cheering and very happy that these people were invading. And for a minute, it looked really tense and it looked really bad for the people at the embassy. However, we'll go through everything that happened and kind of give you a little breakdown as to what was the outcome, which was actually a positive outcome for now.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the people that have been reporting on this have been Alex Rubenstein, the Code Pink, Answer Coalition, Miss Parampel. And so we have a tweet here that kind of that's the one I got in the beginning. It said, breaking, U.S. Marshals were about to illegally seize the embassy of Venezuela and hand over the U.S.-backed ambassadors of Guaido in violation of international law, which is the Vienna Convention. And so this is in the Embassy Protection Collective, which is the ones that are protecting the embassy. Yeah. And some of these people were arrested. And then the updated version that came after was that there was a few people that remained inside, I believe 4. Mm-hmm. 3 left. And they stated that the U.S. Secret Service explicitly and repeatedly will not leave if it means that U.S. violates the Vienna Convention by making an illegal eviction and unlawful arrest. So the Secret Service was trying to continuously do this. They've been there kind of just... They showed up there. They didn't do anything. And then yesterday, they broke the locks, went in.
Yeah.
And
it was like one of those situations, stand your ground kind of when they went in there. I mean, the good stand your ground, where Zeus and a couple other people said, no, we're not leaving. Yep. I guess they didn't have an arrest warrant, so they couldn't take them. They knew what they were doing. There's been examples of this before. This is the Elliot Abrams playbook, Pompeo Bolton playbook, is to get the embassy changed over to the opposition to solidify and verify the opposition government that they're trying to put in place. So this is a big stance. This was a standing rock moment. Yeah. A lot of people got a little bit late on the train for this and stuff. People started showing up. More people started showing up. And if this continued to go on, this would be like one of those situations. I mean, even Johnny Tsunami over there, or Johnny Pesto, he said, why are we in Venezuela? Lawrence Steiner, why are we in Venezuela? Everybody's like, let's get to Venezuela. So this was a big thing. And I'm glad these occupiers, these positive occupiers for the Venezuelan people, the actual majority of the people who want Maduro to stay in power, held it down. And it's something that's great, fam. This is awesome. Big ups to those people. Thank you. We love you.
Well, yeah.
Great work.
I mean, a lot of people are just kind of trying to ignore this, and you can't ignore this. This isn't going to go away. This is going to go back, and we're going to look at what politicians were actually talking about this, what politicians actually said. It's going to be another DAPL. And we have one last tweet here on this that says a VH at the front door, law enforcement had shaved off the locks, sawed off the locks, opened the doors, and the peace activists were voiced determination to uphold the convention, and they told them not to violate the mission and international law, so they pulled back. So we have the pictures here of what they said. They wrote like a little note right there, because a lot of these people are like stormtroopers. Again, I always use that because they're just following orders. They're just following orders. They don't even know why they're doing what they're doing. And then these are the people there on the next picture. They are inside, and this is the police trying to get in, and you can see how they were holding the signs there bravely. I mean, you have to think about this psychologically. You're in there, you're like kind of like in this situation that's very military-like. You're holding down the fort, and these people are coming in with weapons that you don't have.
Yeah.
You don't even have electricity. You don't have power. You probably barely
No
have
water.
any water.
They cut the water.
They cut the water off, and I'm assuming they're surviving by drinking whatever little water they have.
Yeah.
And they don't have very little food because, you know, people get bashed in the head for trying to bring in a cucumber. And they're over there, and they're still standing firm on telling them no, because this represents a little coup in our own country against Venezuela from the Guaido people trying to overtake the Maduro regime. Basically, the Maduro is the democratically elected leader.
Yes, he is.
And so by the Guaido people trying to get in, they're trying to cement that no, Guaido is the leader, etc. While simultaneously this coup is actually failing miserably in Venezuela.
Yes. I think they had like 4 attempts on this coup. Excuse me for a second while I try to fix my mic. I think they've had 4 attempts on this coup. And the military, big ups to the military in the Venezuela, has been holding strong and say they will not go fight brother against brother, Venezuelan against Venezuelan, and in coalition, in lockstep, what's going on over here in the Washington embassy, the Venezuelan embassy. And I was watching Max Blumenthal yesterday, and he said there's some type of deal that's going to be cut between another friendly government to bring them into the situation, which is going to pretty much put the United States efforts and the Secret Service's efforts, the extension of Donald Trump and Pompeo and John Bolton, at bay, and it's going to stop. This is almost close, hopefully, from being over. And the fear is that the attention will be shifted to Iran, but more and more things are happening to say that it looks like we might dodge a coup. Actually, for now, and it's got everything to do with all these people that have been talking about this stuff. Yeah. Fam, I'm gonna pat us on the back. We've been talking about the regime change plan book. We've been talking about this for over a year and a half. We've been eyeballing Venezuela. We've been talking about Nicaragua. This is big. And if we can stop this over here, it's going to be huge, okay? Yeah. So there's still more work to be done. Mm-hmm. There's still more voices to be regurgitated. Keep telling people about this. Keep whistling out there. Johnny, did you have something to say? I'm so sorry. Okay, you just look like he did, but
so
it's big.
We have the video just exactly when the Secret Service and the law enforcement started leaving. It's at 1 hour and 37 minutes in this video segment. And you can see like the excitement of the Hands Off Venezuela protesters.
Protection Collective. That's right. So we'll get an update from her as soon as we can.
There they are.
Yeah, that's Kevin Z's up there by the window. Good job, Kevin, to say the least.
If you'd like to see more about Kevin Z's, go to the Convo Couch YouTube and click on in and see the interview with Fiorella Isabel and Kevin Z's.
What was that, fam? You did have a whole interview.
That was awesome, though. Yeah, we if you guys want to check out the interview with Kevin Z's, he did talk about everything before this happened, so we would like to get him back on to talk about the aftermath. But this is amazing. This is exactly what we need to do, and I wish we could just go to DC and hang out. And
I wonder what food and water they had in their fam. I mean, you guys were talking about the situation and stuff like that, but then when they cut the water, I was like, man, how much water did they have in there? How much food are they rationing out? Like, you get 1 granola bar a day, you get 3 cups of water, that's it. Let's make sure we got this, because like you said, you don't know what they're doing. They're coming in there. This is like Fort Knox. I always talk about it. It's lockdown time, baby. And here they're coming in, stormtroopers with guns, limited supply of food. Wow, this is big, fam. I'm sorry for this is I got a little happy about this, because really holding this off, because this is huge. But
it is huge. It's bigger than what people expect.
Wow.
And
people don't realize how big this is.
No, they don't. And so the Embassy Protection Collective wrote a little memo on basically to urge the State Department that, hey, we've been here for 34 days living in the Venezuelan Embassy in D.C. We're prepared to stay as long as it needs in order to make sure that this is resolved in a peaceful way, and that's consistent with international law. They constantly keep talking about the international law, because that is what the United States and the Guaido supporters are intent on violating. So they just talk about the ways we can resolve it. And they're willing to stay as long as is necessary. And they have they want to protect the power agreement that they have. And they also want to not violate the Vienna Convention, which is the whole other thing that they are emphasizing. So they just kind of wrote a little memo to talk about how they plan to do that and that they want to resolve this peacefully. So that was really nice.
Talk about the Vienna Conventions, though. That's like another set of laws. And to me, it's always like it's just another set of laws that the elites in America will dodge. They'll never see any time. They'll never be held accountable. But we do talk about these things about the Vienna Convention. I mean, what they did and what they were doing was against the law.
Right.
If we're still
international law, but America does what they want because they're above the law. Yeah. That's the thing. Like if America, if you break the law and you're poor or you have no clout, then you're going to be punished. But if you break the law and you're wealthy or you're a powerful person, and that extends to America. We're the bullies. If we break the law, we'll find a way to rationalize it. And so that's kind of what they were doing. They were completely ignoring the fact that we were breaking international law because all that matters is our national law. Yeah. Apparently. Yeah. Right. So we have a little summary here from Telesur. Telesur has done amazing coverage on this, by the way.
Telesur English.
And they don't get enough credit, and they get so much bias from our media. So we have this little video here.
If Telesur, you're looking for a morning show, hit us up over here. The Telesur LA, we got it. Morning show, Combo Couch. Roll it, baby.
So ridiculous.
Is it Twitter again?
Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, foreign government. Additionally, a portion of this property is utilized by the Venezuela Department of Missions Organization to verificate international organization. This property is used for official business and diplomatic purposes.
You violated international law today.
Congratulations, boys.
Wow. Savage music.
Yeah, I'll get that from you later.
Today.
It's property of male storage.
So it's funny. Anya Parampil took this picture of Simón Bolívar. Simón Bolívar was in South American history the one who freed these countries from Spanish rule, and they were like trying to be like, oh, she's still federal, blah blah blah. And she's like, it doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the Venezuelan government.
Yeah.
So you know what? Like they said it was okay for me to take this, and she's savage. I love the reporting she's done. It's been really awesome. But that really summarized it.
Kevin Zeese yelling out the window in a megaphone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And let me tell you something. Now that I know, because I didn't see 34, 36 days, Kevin Zeese, when you're in town, I am treating you to a full pasta meal, as much as you want, your favorite pastas. I wonder how many pounds he lost inside there for 34 fucking days.
Yeah.
I'm like I said, man, that is just awesome. Great work. I am just Anya, Medea Benjamin, Kevin Zeese, fucking heroes. Love you.
Yeah.
Love you.
And like I don't think enough of the United States, as you were saying, grasp how big and huge this is. And every single day, it's a new day, it's a new fight. Because I have a feeling they're going to try again because the coup in Venezuela is failing. And this is what the actual lawyers said. So the lawyers that were there were actually not partisan to either side. But this is what the lawyer said regarding the situation.
On the Twitter, the lawyer says.
Do you have the video? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So the people inside were very clear. They were asked if they were going to leave voluntarily. They said that they would in fact voluntarily leave under circumstances that upheld international and domestic law. They were very clear that they were very concerned about violations of international law, the cascade effect of a U.S. government seizing an embassy, what would happen if U.S. government officials and officers entered upon an embassy, and what that says in terms of the Vienna Convention. And they were resolute, they were completely nonviolent, they were peaceful, but they were saying repeatedly that they were standing for the law, that they were standing up for international law, that they were demanding that there be a peaceful resolution, that would involve a caretaker for the embassy, as is normal under the Vienna Convention, and they were rejecting any violations of the Vienna Convention, rejecting any violations of international law. They made it clear that they stand for peace, and they stand to stop a global cascade effect that could have huge repercussions for people.
Yep. So,
wow.
Yeah, that's the lawyer pretty much saying what they're saying and agreeing, because that is the law, and she's the lawyer, and the law is on the side of these people, these activists right now. So it's kind of nice. And Alex Rubinstein, savagely, pretty much, he's been doing a lot of great reporting too. Follow him on Twitter. Police came and may have entered the building in violation of international law, but they left putting zip tie handcuffs over the main entrance. They left with their tails between their legs. The police raid has failed, just as the coup did. Embassy protectors are still inside. So I think a lot of people expected them to just give in and leave and be scared. And when they said that they were going to stay as long as it was required, they meant it.